Hello, folks. I'm going to be taking a look at Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy. This is the um, second edition of Eclipse. I suppose you could call it more like maybe an essential edition. They kind of did the thing that Stonemaier did for Viticulture, where they took expansions that they had really bits and pieces of expansions they had released and combined them into like a new essential edition. That's kind of how I'm looking at this thing. It pretty much plays exactly like the first edition of Eclipse with a few rule tweaks here and there. I'm not really going to get into the rules, just kind of going to show um, basically just the build quality of this, or the manufacturing quality of this game. It's pretty impressive. So, with that in mind, get that out of the way. And there was this great Game Trays did a great insert for this game. Everything essentially has an insert. At the end of this video, I will go through how to put all this back into the box, essentially. What's going to go where, what I had to stick where in order to make things fit. Um, uh, so that all of the expansion content, or the Kickstarter exclusives, I guess you could say, and add-ons and whatnot, all fit back into one box. Because they come in two boxes. I actually threw the expansion box away because, well, I thought I could fit everything in here, and I could. But it was made in such a way that the expansion box could fit on top of this, and then your box lid would just rise above. You'd have like an inch or inch and a half of space at the bottom of the box that was showing. But it could, like, it basically expanded your box top up a little bit. I wasn't too big of a fan of that, so I basically got rid of that box. I was able to get everything into this base box. There's actually a thread on Board Game Geek about it. I pretty much follow the same rules, or the same setup in terms of how to get things back into the box. So, real quick, here's everything comes in punch boards, obviously. So there's a lot to punch out. This is the bottom tray of the box. You can see the map tiles there, and they are separated into the inner ring, the middle ring, and the outer ring, levels 1, 2, and 3. You have your guardian tiles in the other section here, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell that or not. There's like a sheen. You can kind of see it there a little bit. It's embossed, or not embossed. It's like metallic. It looks really nice for the icons. Then in this slot here, I've got the alternate. This is a tile for using alternate turn order, and then the center galaxy core, or what's it called? The GCP, the center tile. Then you have spots here for this is a mini expansion. This is for minor species, so you can essentially do alliances with them to get benefits and bonuses. Right here are the tiles for the alternative turn order rules, along with the turn order indicators. Over here we have a couple. We have the start player tile, we have the trader tile, and then we have the couple reference tiles determining what reputation you get depending on what you defeat, etc., as well as the scoring on the back. So that's just like it was in the other game. Here, there's not technically a spot, but I just decided this is where I was going to put these things. This is the warp gate circular tile that will go out on the board if you have the warp gate technology, and then just the proof of purchase for the game. I just decided to throw those right there. It looked like a decent enough spot. Here you have the actual miniature for the center tile. Very well done. It's got a wash over it in black. It really makes it pop. They did a very good job with that. So let's see if I can get that back down here, sitting properly. Here we have all our discovery tiles. So these are the tiles that will go in the center of the tiles, face down. And then we have the scoring track marker I've got wedged in here to kind of keep all these in line. I'm not sure if that's where it's supposed to go, but it seemed like the most logical place. That way all these guys kind of stay in one position, and my starting tile will be right there. So that's that. I'm going to push this out of the way for the moment. The next thing, which is a very wonderful thing, is the technology storage tray. So we have all our technologies here. They do give a guide that shows where these go. But essentially on this left side here we have hull 1, then we have improved hull, conifold field, sentient hull, then we have nuclear drive, fusion drive, transition drive, tachyon drive, then we have nuclear source, fusion source, tachyon source, 0-point source, then we have electron computer, positron computer, gluon computer, and flux missile. Then we have ion cannon, plasma cannon, soliton cannon, and antimatter cannon. And then we have the Gauss shield, the phase shield, the absorption shield, and the plasma missiles. And then here, this odd or rotated section is for the rift cannon. So that all your tiles will go in there. Nice lid that goes on top, and it's easy. They're nice and organized. They're going to stay put when you put them back in the box. The other thing is this little tray here that has, this is where when you draw technology tiles out of the technology bag, they will sit, in the rows. Here's the round marker up here, and then I believe down here these are the extra. Actually, I'm not sure what those are for down there. Other technologies, but I'm not sure what. But this is a very nice, this is another game trays. It's not very flimsy, very sturdy. Definitely going to help out. We have the victory point bag, where all the victory points are in. They are pretty much identical to the way they were in the first edition. But nice little bag to draw them out of. And then we have the technologies bag. Again, nice cloth bag to draw the technologies out of. They look like they might be a little bit bigger, but that's fine. They're also, one side is one way, and then you can flip them over, so they're printed on double-sided, which is kind of nice. Pretty much exactly like they were in the first edition. Get that out of the way. Then we have, there are two base box, or base trays, I guess. Basically are going to hold your dice, going to hold your wound markers, the monoliths, the star bases, and the bad guy ships, the ancients. This I was able to get. I'll get to that in a second. So there's two trays. They're identical. They have the exact same stuff in them. Then we have the new player boards, which are very nice. You're going to be able to put your technologies out here as you get them. Your influence discs will sit here. You have your actions that you can take. Your species. You've got your ships. You've got your alliance and reputation slots here, and then on the back is for the humans of that same color. Now, these guys are, so like the yellow players are going to have to either be the descendants or the Terran yellow players. You're not going to be able to play the Planta in yellow, basically, because of the way the ships are. It would be far too confusing to try to play as the yellow guys with the red player ships. Um, same information that was on the board for the first edition, other than you don't have the cubes laid out for your resources, and that is because they have these great and wonderful trays, ship trays, or species trays, I guess. There's a cardboard or a thin, like paper-like insert that you have to put inside the top of this, and then this is all cardboard. It gets smashed down over top of it. They were slightly bigger than the top of the trays, so the center like pops up a little bit, but it probably had to be done that way in order for them to actually stick and stay in there. But they are sort of dual layer, so you'll be able to take cubes and put them in the slots here. If I can get that up there, you can see how it's dual layered. And then you will there's markers that go around the outside of this track to indicate scoring and whatnot. So we'll take the lid off of this guy. Inside, the first thing is a trifold player reference. This was, I'm not sure if this is a Kickstarter extra or not, but it was in the Kickstarter box. But that's a nice little, it fits on top of the tray. Then you're going to have your species homeworld tile. You're going to have a reference card that tells you what you can and can't do, your actions. You're going to have all of your discs, your influence discs. Then you're going to have all of your population cubes here. You will have your characters or your species alliance tokens. You're going to have the plus 40 of resource tokens. So these will go essentially if you get more than 40 of these. If I can get it out of there. This will be able to fit in the tray up here and point to where it is. So that's kind of nice. You also have the colony ships. There's going to be 4 in each insert. The Planta used 4, everybody else just uses 3, so there's basically 5 extra tiles in case they get damaged. Then you have your ships. You're going to have your little fighters. You're going to have your star bases here. You're going to have your 2 big dreadnought ships, and then your medium ships here. And then you'll notice I also got the stands in here. Those were Kickstarter extras. Basically, you could get 6 stands. There were enough stands so that there were 6 stands per faction, and I was able to put the stands together and get them in here quite easily. There's plenty of room to push them in. When I was putting the stands together, however, there were a couple that were super loose that are probably going to come out, and then there were a couple that were super tight, and I had to take great care to not crush or snap the rods off when I was inserting them into the base, because they come in 2 pieces. They come in you can actually see this one's kind of separated. I didn't want to get it down any further. Well, you're probably not going to be able to tell, but they come in 2 pieces essentially. So I'll get this back on here. And the trifold goes on top. So that's how that's where your bases will go. And there's going to be 6 of those trays for the 6 players. The other thing that came with the Kickstarter extras was a nice little scoring pad. You can write down player, species, date, scoring, etc. So that's kind of nice. The other thing that came was the Terran ships. They're all the same. They're just the different colors. The exact same models are just different colors. They all have the washes on them, which is very nice. Take these out here so you can kind of see nice wash on the black ships here. And these are, I have all, there's 6 sets of Terran ships. Let's see. So let's go back to the the base kind of box here. You got your orbitals, which are very nice. Very nice, well done. Your cardboard orbital tokens actually fit under the middle one here, so they'll go right there, and you'll put that on top. You have a couple of guardian ships here. You have your orbitals here, and they're made in such a way that you can actually set the cube in the center there, so that's very nice. You have your Ravager or ancient ships here, and then the damage cubes, and then you have the dice. Now I got the 2 extra sets of dice, and you can notice here one's kind of translucent, so the one on the left here is the dice that comes with it, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1 is blank, and then 6 is your quad, and then same thing on this one, but this one's translucent. It's also it's slightly smaller. It's almost like it's not square. It's oddly shaped. But I had to, basically 2 sets of dice can go in. You have to set the extra ones over here to the side, but that's okay. And then I did the same thing with the other tray. Again, 2 sets of dice, but then I was able to get the Rift Cannon dice over here, just so they're stored there, and everything's nice and neat. Alright, so how does all this go back in the box? What you're going to do is set your base tray out like this. Then you're going to take your player trays and you're going to put them like so. Now you do have to kind of get the lip of the bottom tray in the middle is going to catch the lip of, or going to catch the model of the central mini, so you have to kind of be careful with that. Alright, so those are all in there like that. Next, these are going to go over here. Before you place one here, however, we can take our bags and lay them very gingerly in here, as well as our Terran ship miniatures. Okay, and we can set these right there on top. Then you're going to take your technology tray and lay it there. Your the other tray there. Then we can take our rule book. The sheet that tells us how everything goes back together in the box, as well as where everything goes in the various trays. That'll go there. We have the extra rolls for all the Kickstarter extras. We have the Beyond a Galactic Veil, little graphic novel type thing, and then just a little signature sheet, I guess. Then I place the player boards on top, and we can lay our score sheet, our score pad there, and then just put the top of the box on, and it goes all the way down to the ground. And that's how everything goes back into the box for Eclipse Second Dawn of the Galaxy, as well as a very brief overview of the production quality of this game. I'm really impressed with it. Looking forward to playing it. Yes. Yeah, so that's that. Thanks for watching.